everyone doing? Welcome to the final episode of After the After Hours with your boy TraderPrad. The final day of this week is tomorrow going to be a free fall Friday. Now get ready for tomorrow. Powell going on the microphone. Powell going on the microphone again. Get ready for tomorrow. So I do have a watch list ready, but if you guys are ready, hit that like and subscribe. Hit that like and subscribe. Thank you guys for all the love. Thank you guys for all the support. This is your boy TraderPrad. TraderPrad. But if you guys are ready for this show to get started, why don't we dive into the full screen and hit that like and subscribe. Oh, turn the mic off after I turned it on. What's wrong with me? What's up, people? How's everyone doing? I'm rocking the full red theme. I got the red colors, I got the red hat, the red shirt, and I got a red piano on the day, on the week, on the month. We're red. So I'm rocking the full red theme over here. But how are you guys doing? Hopefully you guys had a wonderful day today. The market managed to trap me in my shorts, and you know, sadly I turned my day from a okay green day to a decent enough of a red day, to the point where we gave away our two green days of the month so far, and now we're in a slight little hole over here in the month, but not anything that we're worried about. We could easily come back from this red spot, but more so excited to see what I'm going to do next week, because I don't think I'm going to be able to trade tomorrow. I'm actually driving. Well, I'm not driving. A buddy of mine is driving. A buddy and I are driving up to Montreal to go hang out with some of my friends over there who got a house. So we're going to go hang out with some old friends over there. So I'm not sure how much time I myself am going to get to trade on the market tomorrow, but in the morning I will be live for a little bit, as long as you know, I think for the first at least opening session I'll be able to trade the morning session. So if I do get to do that, I'll obviously try to squeeze that one in, but lots of packing to do. I gotta pack some clothes, I gotta put some blankets, my blankie. I can't sleep without my blankie, so I need my blankie. But more so, I need to get you guys ready for the moves tomorrow, based off of the moves today. Some of the moves that came from earnings names. We got Barkey asking about you know, some of the stocks that we actually have on the watch list to take a look at, so we'll obviously go through all of those names. Barkey, not sure why you asked about ANET, but we'll take a look at ANET too, along with AVGO and a bunch of other names that were moving around today after hours, mainly the ones that reported earnings reports. And I also want to talk about the overall market, how I got trapped in the market today, and what I think at the end of the day, based on how the overall events on the market played out today, what I think could be some of the potential moves tomorrow. So let's see what happens. Right now TH is already speaking what I kind of want to speak about in the chat. So if you're on the YouTube chat, TH voicing my opinion out there. No stock is safe. Market is undergoing attrition. Hello TH, how are you doing? C-Dubs in the chat. What's up C-Dubs? What it do, brother? Chiefs or Ravens? Surprisingly enough, I was actually going to make some bets on the Chiefs or Ravens, but then I figured, I promised myself I'm not going to go back to sports betting for a while. So I'm going to stay away from sports betting for a while. It was just a big drain of money, and nah, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it. I'm just going to stay away from sports betting for some time. We'll see what happens. My long has been trapped in my shorts for too long, says Bigly Down Under. Yeah, whatever that means, that's exactly has been happening. That's exactly has been happening. But let's go to the full screen. Let's talk about all the fun stuff that happened today on the market and all the potential movers that we might get tomorrow. Starting with some of the earnings names over here, such as Broadcom, UiPath, another AI name, if I remember correctly, IoT, Samsara, DocuSign, Planet. This is basically a company that maps the Earth. I think Google Earth actually uses their satellites to map Earth and so on, so something to keep an eye on. I think it's a very low price stock though, so we'll be very quickly disinterested in this position if I don't see a play on it. But we got a bunch of names over here, and then Barkey also wanting us to take a look at a name outside of the list, those names. ANAT, not sure why. Let's actually go to the yearly chart. I mean, I don't really see too much on the stock as a day trade perspective. Maybe you're looking at it for some sort of a sympathy trade, or because the market's pulling back, or some sort of a different reason. I'm not really seeing any reason to look for a day trade on this position. Now, if you're thinking about swing trades or something else, I would need to spend a lot more time on this, and I'm not really willing to spend time on a stock that I'm not even looking to trade as a day trade. But at the moment, looks like you can see how some of the previous lines I have mapped out are acting as resistance at the moment on the hourly chart, which is usually one of those more hidden charts that I like to use. But you guys, if you've been watching me, you'll see me use the hourly chart quite a bit these days. If the stock cannot get above this 330 area, I don't think there's really any longs tomorrow or any other day in the future, basically, right? So it really needs to hold 330 right now and hold above $330 to even think about a long intraday, and then to think about a long for a swing trade. You might have to start using a little bit of a wider stop. Maybe you're swinging stop at 320, looking for a move all the way up to 350, but then you also need to take a look at fundamentals and all other aspects over there. So I don't really want to talk about swinging or investing. It's something that I'm not even qualified to do. I'm not a financial advisor. So if you're thinking about financial advice, go to a financial advisor for that reason. But if you're looking at this for a day trade, I personally wouldn't look for a long unless the stock reclaims some of these hourly levels that we created today, even what we created all of yesterday. So some of these hourly levels that we created today and yesterday, the stock needs to basically find buying above it. Today's high, $330.15. Going to the next few names that we actually will be talking about quite a bit in extensive manner will be the stocks that actually reported earnings today after hours. One of them being AVGO. If you are watching me on YouTube, you've already seen the YouTube thumbnail, but some of the people on stonks.com probably did not see the YouTube thumbnail over here. We got Guy Fieri with AVGO, Broadcom, Flaming Hot Chips, and we got him also holding a screenshot of the AVGO move down, which was down about $10 at the time of the creation of this thumbnail. Obviously, Guy Fieri's face swap with mine. Nice little thumbnail showing you that Flaming Hot Chips are back in play. Because AVGO, if I remember correctly, is one of the more higher up there in percentages. Actually, we can go check on that right now. I was checking on this earlier on in the day, but I closed all those tabs. We can open it again. smhetf.com, qqqetf.com, S&P 500 etf.com, and then open all three of these. Bang, bang, and bang. Close that, and close that. And now, stop doxing me, you piece of shit. Holdings, you'll see that AVGO is third at the top of SMH, sitting at 8.58%. For QQQ, we got Holdings, AVGO, Broadcom at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sitting at 4.92%. And for S&P 500, you have it a little bit lower down the list, coming in at 8th or 9th spot, I guess. I guess these are the top 10. Yeah, top 10. Coming at the 9th spot is AVGO once again at 1.43% of the S&P 500 ETF. So you can see how big of a component AVGO really is of all three of these big markets that we continuously watch every single day for day trading purposes, for even investing and so on. People always say you will never beat the SPY, so just put your money in the SPY instead of trying to beat the market. You're not wrong, right? So just put your money in the S&P 500, and when you realize that stocks in the S&P 500, such as one of the 9th position in the S&P 500 is AVGO, weighed in around 1 point something%, you might want to take a look at how the stock reports earnings, right? You might want to take a look at how the stock report earnings, which they did today. And we're going to read their report using our good friends over at benzinga.com. Let me actually go grab Linktree. Ooh, I closed my Linktree page. There we go. Let me grab the Linktree page and post it in stonks.com chat. Bang. Okay. AVGO, Broadcom AVGO reported third quarter. Here are the results. Broadcom reported revenue of $13.072 billion, beating analyst estimates of $12.96 billion. Semiconductor company reported second quarter earnings of 1.24 per share, beating analyst estimates of 1.20. Total revenue came in at a 42% increase on a year-to-year basis. Broadcom generated $4.963 billion in cash from operations and $4.791 billion in free cash flow during the quarter. The company ended the quarter with $9.952 billion in cash and cash equivalents. Broadcom's third quarter results reflect continued strength in our AI semiconductor solutions and VMware. We expect revenue from AI to be $12 billion for the fiscal year 2024, driven by Ethernet networking and custom Ethernet. Really? What? That really caught me off guard over there. What the hell? Okay. Ethernet networking from AI? Huh? That one really caught me off guard. Custom accelerators for AI data centers. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, gotcha. Broadcom board approval, was also a quarterly cash dividend of 53 cents per share. I think that's basically the norm. Yeah, their normal dividend anyways. Payable on September 3rd to shareholders as of September 19th. Broadcom expects fourth quarter revenue approximately $14 billion and anticipates EPS to be growth approximately around 64%, adjusted EBITDA of approximately 64% of projected revenue. Okay, gotcha. Broadcom management will hold a conference call. That conference call, obviously, you can listen to it very easily on our good friends over at stonks.com. So if you missed out on the game today, which I won, I won 8th spot, and I also won, I forget what other spots. So I won $10 over there. You can go check out the Broadcom's conference call very easily on their website on stonks.com. Tomorrow's game is Fizz, which I already made my bets for, 41.62 and 48.09. You can see how my bet over here on AVGO, I won $10 today by coming in 8th place. And then I also won $1.25 by coming in 37th place. So overall, my rankings so far on these games have not been so, not been bad at all. Let's go check at it. My daily streak, wow, that one dropped. Best streak. I think this is the winning streak. Okay. Did I win for 7 days in a row? Or did I log in for 7 days in a row? I think this one is talking about my login streak. I think this is talking about my daily login streak. But total contests, 17 contests. Average place, 1300 place. Wow, that's crazy. Best place, 8th place. Total money won $106. $106 made on this website so far, and I have cashed out some money already too. I don't know if it has hit my account yet, but we're waiting for that money to hit my account, and we're gonna have some whenever that money hits. Probably give it back to the chat in some way. Maybe we buy some stonks merch and give away stonks merch to the chat instead. So some fun ideas over there brewing in my head whenever that money comes in. So far though, check out stonks.com. Use my referral link if you haven't already. Amazing website, not only for streaming, because people like me who enjoy streaming about financial content. This website is basically going to be the hub for it. But people like you who enjoy financial content, this website is adding amazing stuff. Integrations as your portfolio integration. You can even copy what your favorite streamer is doing directly from your portfolio. You can choose how much of copying you want to do. Apparently they want to think about adding integrations like that and even fancier stuff in the future. So stonks.com out there going all out, and if you don't have an account created, you're gonna miss out, ladies and gentlemen. You're gonna miss out. So go create an account for stonks.com ASAP. All right, ASAP. AVGO, let's talk about the day trade opportunity here. I mean, for the most part, that report looks pretty bullish, but so far what we've seen as a trend for the market, good is bad. Good is bad, right? Nvidia dumping to the downside. I want to quickly put in an anchored VWAP for AVGO right there. The purple marker is the anchored VWAP, which is around $145. Even with a good report, AVGO pushing to the downside. I'm expecting that SMCH got dragged down after hours. Not really. Did Nvidia get dragged down a little bit? Not really. So, AVGO, I guess, being secular by itself, flushing back down. But the market indeed getting a nice little haircut going into the close a little bit. So the bearish close over here, in my opinion at the very least, I was heavily short in this area, thinking that the market was going to really flush today. But the way the market's setting up, I think it could easily open up that downside tomorrow if we actually start seeing selling under 547 on the S&P 500. So watch out for how the SPYs react, ladies and gentlemen. If the SPYs open up this pocket under 547 tomorrow, that could open up some big down move. AVGO kick-starting some of that down move, and then you're gonna watch Nvidia trickle along with it. AMD, actually today, surprisingly enough, Apple, Microsoft, Google, Tesla being one of the strongest one on the day, marching all the way up to 234. We actually took that long on Tesla around 224, and we rode it up to 230. I wanted to hold up to 234. I wasn't able to hold it up to 234, but that was a nice little intraday long right there on Tesla. So that the market was kind of resilient, but it still didn't manage to take out previous day's high. Look at that, right? QQQ didn't manage to take out yesterday's high and actually find buying above yesterday's high. S&P 500 tried to, but didn't really manage to do so. So we actually got under yesterday's low, and we looked like we were going to start selling off under yesterday's low and at least give me a move down to 543. That one not really working out. BTC looking weak too, says Gumption. Let's go check out BTC. Look at that. BTC looking weaker too. BTC cracking back lower. A new session starting right now, obviously. I think 8 o'clock every single day, Bitcoin ends the session and starts a new session. So Bitcoin starting a new session right now. We'll see where this one goes. Our boys over at the Alpha Exchange are most likely trading cryptocurrencies right now. I'm guessing he is short Solana. I'm guessing he's short Solana. Do we do it? Oh my god. Do I do it? I'm scared. I have 4,800 points. I don't want to do it. I do not want to do it. I have too many points everywhere. I'm just collecting points like crazy. So I'm not going to risk it. That'd be stupid. That would be stupid. Next raffle, you just know that my pie is going to be huge, okay? My pie is going to be huge. Pause. That sounded pretty gay. Okay. Bitcoin. Oh, sorry, not Bitcoin. You got my sidetracked. AVGO. What are the opportunities we're looking for on this stock? First off, I'm going to go to the 5-minute chart. Actually, no. We're going to go to the hourly chart and turn off regular trading hours. Okay, is that the August recession lows? Where's the marker? Hello? There you go. So August recession lows anchored VWAP, and AVGO has actually been under that anchored VWAP for quite some time now. Every single bar you're seeing on this chart is an hour's worth of information, and we've been above it for quite some time. But now that anchored VWAP flattening out, we've been actually trading it under that anchored VWAP all day yesterday, all day today, and now selling off a little bit more, showing you that the momentum kind of has shifted from the most recent, most impactful low on most stocks, not just AVGO, on most stocks. So did we actually move all the way back down to 128 here in the after hours? I don't think so, right? Yeah, we didn't pull all the way back down to 128. That will be too much of a destruction for a report that seems to be pretty decent. 40% growth on a year-to-year basis. You know, it's not showing you NVIDIA type numbers, but it's still pretty decent. So for the most part, I want to be looking for longs. I want to see how dips get bought up on this position. The previous all-time high, which is a flat line over here, you can see how we had multiple tops around this area before AVGO broke out from its previous earnings report. Then we had the stock split. The stock came back down, and right around these areas we found buying again. So I'm expecting the stock to not really go too far below 140. Sadly, we're already under that level that we just marked up. Right there, you can see how we're kind of under that level already. So if the stock pops up into this area and shows you rejection still, maybe there is an opportunity to get short. But for the most part, how the report is, I would be looking to get long on the dips. If we do get a dip all the way into 140 right off the open, I want to look long on this position. I want to be bullish on this position, especially if we start holding above these levels that we just mapped out, where the stock seems to be getting stuffed down from. So if we start holding above 144 on AVGO, I want to look bullish for a move up to 147, maybe even a move all the way up to 150. I think AVGO's ATR is about $10. It's actually $7.58. So on earnings reports, you can expect 2 times that ATR sometimes on names like this. Even expect 2 times the volume that the stock usually brings in on a 30-day average. It says 25 million. I'm expecting 50 million. I'm expecting $14 worth of an ATR. So we'll see what happens on this position tomorrow if it manages to hold above 144. Holding above 144, it's just easy long for me, at least to the next price level, which is 147, and then above 147 we have that 150 area to keep an eye on. Now below 144 or 140, however, keep an eye to see if the stock has any what is it called, any size at 140. That would be maybe an easy opportunity to look for the long in case the stock actually goes down there, finds buying off of 140, and you can catch a easy dip buy in front of size. It's called a front running size setup long. If you can catch that, good luck to you. Sometimes those can open up slippage, and it will also slip pretty hard. You think you're only risking 5-10 cents, but if slippage opens up, that one, you can get hit a little bit harder than what you thought, what you're getting hit by. The stock will also be on SSR, so that could potentially help you with the slippage. It will also be on SSR, so that could potentially help you with slippage. No, it won't. It will have to go down to $138 to hit SSR. So, it won't be SSR until it goes down a lot more. So it could go a lot lower than 140. It could basically go down to 138, 136, trigger SSR, and then bounce. And we've obviously seen this August low on this position at $128.50. A lot of stocks have gone back to test those levels. For example, Zscaler double bottoming off those levels. Zscaler giving you a beautiful inside day, pretty much allowing you to buy 156 and basically getting out at 164, 163.50. So shout out to anyone who took that call out yesterday. Let's see if AVGO makes a move back into It's August lows, at which point then we can see if we can get back long, and I think a lot of people will be easily looking to buy some shares on this position at $128. You guys gotta remember, AVGO at $128 basically means it's at $1,280, and this stock, if I remember, was always above 1,500, always above 1,800. Well, not really, but you get the idea. It was always above a crazy price that always kept me away from wanting to day trade it. Very, very expensive, very light on volume, but ever since it split, good liquidity. People who previously missed out on the run up on this stock, missed out on the run up on the Nvidia from $100 to $1,000, they are all going to be interested in buying names like these at prices like these. So just going to get soaked up, if you ask me, by new investors, new retailers all around in these juicy prices. So if AVGO goes lower, let's buy it up, baby. Buy it up. Fuck this, I'm never coming back here again. I'm always losing on the flip in your system game. You lost 1,000. Now I have to go do it in your system? Oh, dude, this I can't do this. I can't do it. You know what? Hold up. I need a coin to flip. If the coin lands on heads, I'll do it. If not, I'm not doing it. Do I have a coin? Alright, we're gonna gamble. And if we're gonna gamble, we're gonna do it the right way. I have right here in my hand a beautiful Canadian loonie. Okay? Beautiful Canadian loonie. That right there is the loonie. That's the ducko. That's a geese. That's the ducko, whatever you want to call it. And that's the rest in peace, the good old queen. Rest in peace to the good old queen, okay? Here we go, chat. Oh, shit. Okay, now that wasn't a good flip. Heads. Boom. Boom. Heads. I don't have to do it. Wait, did I say I have to do it if it's heads? I forgot what I said. Where'd my flip-flop go, dog? I forgot what I said. Did I say I have to do it if it's a head? Did I say I have to do it if it's heads? Oh, no. I think I said I have to do it if it's heads. Ah, shit. Ah, shit. That hurts, dude. 4,000 points? That is so many points. Oh my god. That one hurts. That one hurts. That one hurts. We just lost 4,000 points. We just lost 4,000 points. Fuck. Thank you, Gumption. Alright, next stock. UiPath. We got Victoria in the house. What's up, Victoria? And John Vaughn's in the house, too. What's up, John? How are you guys doing? Gumption doubled his points. You'll get them back again. No, I won't, because I got bad channel point habits. Okay? I got very bad channel point habits. I'm going to lose them very quickly. God. Alright. UiPath. Let's take a look at this report. UiPath reported earnings of 4 cents per share. You're making money? Okay. Beating estimates on 3 cents per share. Okay, so barely beat the estimates though. 316 million versus estimates of 303 million. Not bad. Showing you a 10% increase on the same period last year. Average recurring revenue of 1.551 billion, an increase of 19%. Net new average recurring revenue of 43 million. That doesn't sound very good, but okay. Dollar-based net retention rate of 115%. Non-GAAP gross margin was 83%. UiPath announced 500 million expansion of its share repurchase program. Another company that's doing another repurchase program over here, okay? Will be taking on expanding as a role of COO. So COO becoming somebody else, okay? in addition to his responsibilities as a CFO immediately. Okay, so CFO becoming COO. We are pleased with our second quarter results, with average recurring revenue growing by 19%. What is the outlook, however? UiPath third quarter revenue in the range of 345 to 350 versus 347. EPS, revenue for the full year being 1.42 to 1.425 versus 1.41. So I guess both in that one's in line, the quarter one's in line, but the full year one's a little bit higher. The stock is showing you growth across the board, even though net new average recurring revenue was only 43 million. There's average recurring revenue which went up by 19%. Still holds, showing you that, you know, their retention rate's fairly higher, so they're still able to retain their old customers and are able to continue making money. You know, they're not losing EPS. They previously were not able to really make any money, this company. If I remember correctly, their EPS was red. They were in the negatives. Let's go check out what Pat's PE is. So now their forward PE, there we go. Now their forward PE is 29, which is actually not that bad. If you guys remember, Zoom was only at the 12 or something, and now Zoom forward PE 12, current PE 24. So all things kind of looking better over here. Growth company showing growth, getting better, and actually improving. Also very similar to an Affirm story. And if you guys remember how Affirm played out to the north side, how Asana played out yesterday to the north side, all of which were pretty bullish moves. And over here you're getting a decently bullish of a reaction off its earnings report, which is what I think it should do. So shout out to UiPath. Now on any pullbacks, I think we should see the stock just easily finding buying. I think we are going to get a more explosive move tomorrow on this position after the stock pulls back and finds some buying, especially above $13. Did we even get above that 13 in the after hours? We did. So we are actually all the way into 14. So any pullback into this 13.50 to 13 bucks area, I'm expecting the stock to find buying, have a very similar effect to GitLab, where it might do something like this in the pre-market, open up, boom, and then just fly off the earnings anchored VWAP, which is currently right around $13.66. For reference, here is GitLab. Here is GitLab. So here's GitLab that moved in the pre-market, after hours off the earnings report. Pre-market actually pulls back right into the earnings anchored VWAP, opens right around the earnings anchored VWAP, and then just rips off to the north side, allowing you to look for a long opportunity. So look for something like that on UiPath tomorrow, especially if the stock is showing you buying above $13. What the hell? Where did these lines come from? Delete these ones, delete these ones, delete that one. Those are probably old lines that I don't use anymore. So we're going to get rid of those. Actually, we're going to go to the 60-minute time frame, turn off extended trading hours, and delete some of the extra stuff that we don't need. Obviously, this is now a gap close opportunity. So the stock could easily go to $18 in a swing term scale. So you got to watch out for that potential playing out too. For that, the bigger the pullback into $13.28, $13 specifically, and actually holding that price point, the better the stock has an opportunity to blast off into $18. I'm not going to say it's going to happen in one day, but we have seen some of these stocks blast off 20%, 30% off of its earnings move. Why can't I? There we go. Blast off 20%, 30% off its earnings move, and that would be right around this earnings anchored VWAP, which seems to be, is that where it comes from? Yeah, this earnings anchored VWAP, that's where that one comes from. That would be about 20-30% right into $15, but I could see the stock swinging into 18 bucks based off this earnings report that they just reported. If they continue growing, the better for themselves, right? Look at the previous earnings report where they actually didn't do that bad, but they still got flushed off that report, sadly. Absolutely got destroyed off that report. So let's see if the stock can find buying above 13. That's going to be my bottom dollar. 13.28, I believe, was the line that we just drew. Let's zoom back in. Is that actually 20? No, it's 12.80. Is it 12.80? No, it's 13.25. So 13.25. and better find the stock buying above this area. Currently, the earnings anchored VWAP is at 1366, if I remember correctly. 1366. Right there, $13.66. Okay. Next stock, IoT. Let's go check out what IoT reported on their earnings report using our good friends at Benzinga. IoT, Samsara. Q2 earnings, revenue B, EPS B, average recurring revenue up 36%, raised guidance, and more. It looks like the stock went up about 4.5%, almost 5% actually at the time of the report. Ooh, looks like 6% at the time of the report. Let's dive a little bit deeper into it. Q2 revenue, 300 million versus 289 million estimates. EPS 5 cents per share versus estimates of 1 cent per share. Total revenue up 37% year over year. Annual recurring revenue up 37% year over year. Samsara said it ended the quarter with 2,133 customers with average recurring revenue of over 100,000. We achieved another strong quarter durable and efficient growth at greater scale. Q2 ended with 1.264 billion in average recurring revenue, growing about 36%. Margin okay, blah blah blah. We grow our operating data skills. We are proud to achieve blah 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 blah. Where is the outlook? There we go. Outlook. Samsara sees third quarter revenue in the range of 309 million to 311 million versus estimates. No estimates. All right. And then the EPS coming in for the third quarter to 3 to 4 cents per share versus what they just reported of 5 cents per share. So if you just compare that to this, looks like they're going to grow a little bit to the next quarter from this quarter. So not by much, but a little bit. Samsara also raised its full year fiscal year 2025 guidance. The company now expects full year revenue to be between 1.224 to 1.228 versus estimates of 1.213. So pretty much above estimates. The company expects full year EPS to be between 16 to 18 versus estimates of 13. So raising their own guidance for the full year, basically showing a little bit of growth coming in across the board. You also see that the numbers from same period last year are also to the upside for IoT, and oh, that's not good. We did see that the original move was to the up, but a little bit of a pullback over here on IoT. Off a quick glance, without taking a look on the stock on the daily chart, this is only a pullback up to today's high, and you can see how grindy the stock was. I would think that this is a buyout, because how grindy it was stuck in. With 4.5 million shares traded on this position, this is how it traded. I mean, Gumption would have a heyday on a stock like this. He would have a heyday, just make shit ton of money on a stock like this without any problem. So tons of volume, and it's just trading like an absolute buyout. Watch out IoT, however, because it looks like it might have a little bit of action tomorrow. Not too long of an IPO. So pretty recent IPO from 2021 into its all-time high territories. It did try to break into a new all-time high, but failed to do that over here today. Potentially could have a move again into the last month's high, the all-time high of $42.50, at which point you could look to short again. But IoT as a day trade, just because of how the stock reacted over here, I'm a little turned off on this. You want to see the stock react the way that the one that we just covered earlier did, which is UiPath. You want to see it react a little bit like UiPath and almost blasting off through the all-time high, or at least going into the previous all-time high and kind of struggling into that area. So not doing that on IoT has me a little turned off on this position. Almost not interested at all to take a look at this one. Come on. I didn't mean to open this at all. Ah! Shit. I closed the playlist by mistake. There we go. We're good. We're good. We're back. We're back. So not really too excited for the stock. If it does show you buying above, let's actually go to the 16-minute time frame because that will make the picture a little bit clearer. Yeah, see how much noise it's over here in this area? So I don't really want to make a decision at all. Maybe if it's finds buying above 39, you could look for a move into 42, 42.50, whatever you call this all-time high area. But there's just so much noise on this position that I'm not really looking to trade this one. There's going to be way better names tomorrow to keep an eye on. For example, DocuSign reported earnings today after hours. And look at the whipsaw action this piece of shit stock had. A whipsaw all over the place. Whip back and forth. I whip my hair back and forth. I whip my hair back and forth. Just whipping back and forth over here for DocuSign. At the end of the day, basically having a nothing burger move stuck within its ranges. So let's go take a quick look at what DocuSign did on its earnings report. 736 million, beating estimates of 726 million. Adjusted EPS 97 cents per share, beating estimates of 80 cents per share. Subscription revenue up 7% year-to-year basis. Professional services and other revenue climbed up by 2% year-to-year. Billing revenue came in up 2% year-to-year. Net cash flow from operating activities totaled to 220 million. The company generated free cash flow to 197. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Looking ahead, expects revenue to be in the range of 743 to 747. The company, 747 Boeing. That's a good sign right there that it's going to crash, ladies and gentlemen. Brace for impact. Mayday, 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 mayday. Brace for impact. The company sees second quarter billings in the range of 710 million to 720 million. DocuSign also raised its fiscal year revenue to a new range of 2.94 to 2.952. However, at the time of the report, the stock originally flushed down and then went back up. A little bit of an all-over whipsaw action over here on this position. Another nothing burger name, and my personal bias on this stock has been pretty bearish, if you guys know about that. So it's also very choppy ranges, very, very choppy ranges. So only way I get interested in trading this is if it pushes into the $60 area and shows me resistance, or it's able to get above the $60 area and show me buying above this area for me to even think about a long. Otherwise, even above 60, you can see how there's more levels on the stock right into $61. So that's kind of even ugly to look at. So I'm so disinterested to look for a long on this position at all. I mean, yuck. That is a lot of trouble for the stock on the north side. Hello, why aren't you magneting? Thank you. A lot of trouble for the stock to go through. Not interested as much on the DocuSign as much as maybe AVGO. Even PAT look way more interesting for us to take a look at. PL. Now, I want to just take a quick little glance at where PL went in the after hours. Just personal interest. Not going to talk about this as a day trade for you guys. Just personal interest. This is Planet Labs. They basically map or send... If I remember correctly, this is the same company as the one I'm talking about. Please don't be wrong on that. Yeah, basically there you go. Insights about Earth. They have satellites out there that I believe Google Earth actually uses to map Earth and provide you the Earth and map services and so on. So Planet Labs, which I thought should be a great investment, maybe still is, honestly. It pulled down a little bit today. Maybe I should go read their earnings report, see how they're growing, what their plans are in the future. I mean, how much are you really losing on this stock at the end of the day if it goes to zero? Just throw some money in there, and eventually the ceiling is what right now $10. Right now the ceiling is $10, $12, and you get to risk $2 on that position. Isn't that a great risk to reward, right? But obviously you need to take a look at more stuff than that. The financials, are they actually making money? Which they aren't at the moment. They're at least not a stupid small cap. Like they're pretty small, but they're not extremely small, like 2 million, 3 million float or whatever. They're not extremely high short flow. Institutions own a good chunk of it. 26% of the float is actually owned by institutions, and 8% of the float is actually traded by institution itself. So they move it back and forth pretty decently. Eventually, if the company, maybe this is not the company, sorry. Eventually, if the company has better news, it'll start popping higher. So it's just something to keep an eye on. Not a day trade at all, really. NIO up 14% today. Wow, okay, NIO. Shout out to this one. Up 14%, ripping to the north side off its earnings report. So watch out how dips behave. You can look to see if the stock gets bought on its dips for an opportunity to move back into today's high. Usually, from what my history of trading NIO, it's not the most fun the second day. It's usually the day one that's active and fun. So if you get a chance to get a dip, and if the dips are actually getting bought, if you can risk small and actually have the scope to get a big enough reward out of it, go for it. I'm just not that keen on NIO. AI, C3 AI actually managed to get above that $20.23 that we were talking about last night on stream. But if you just watch the stock constantly off the open, it struggled here quite a bit where you could have taken short. Just because of how choppy the action was around that level, I didn't really go short. Later on in the day, you could have gone long, and that could have given you an opportunity too. But overall, I just didn't touch AI today. I just watched it. The action wasn't too clean for me, so I just stayed away from it, and I think I made the right decision. If you pull back the stock, obviously on the 5-minute chart, you can see how we basically pulled back into the last month's low, which is around $21 or so. At this point, look, the report was not really negative, right? The report's not really negative, but who knows what the hell does C3 AI even do? Does anyone know what C3 AI even does? Nobody knows what it does, okay? It's just some random company who once originally was an energy company, then it was something else, then it was something else, then they became AI, and then they just started providing AI, and somehow now they provide AI to some of the biggest manufacturers in the world, in the Navy, Dolce & Gabbana, the Marines, and all these other... What do you guys even do? I don't understand it. You know, Palantir makes sense for the Navy. We actually know what Palantir does. Nobody knows what C3 AI does, and I think you know, that's going to be the biggest problem for the stock, especially to bring in investors. I think they're still losing money on the EPS side. Yep, pretty much still losing money on EPS. Losing a lot less than previously expected, but you know, they're not making money. So it's going to be hard for people to park their money in a company that's not making money yet. They much rather go put it in Asana. Much rather put it in UiPath, right? Maybe some stocks that are actually turning around and showing more growth. Maybe even a firm for fuck's sakes, right? Go put your money in a firm instead of into AI, in my opinion. DKS, something just to keep a floating eye on as a day trading opportunity. DKS, Dollar Tree, DG got sold off quite a bit to the downside recently, but today it kind of had an inside day. So watching all of these positions. Zscaler, we talked about that 156 area. 156 was pretty much a hard bottom yesterday going into the close. So right here, Wednesday going into the close, the stock just wasn't able to get below 156. Today we opened slow, just barely get under 156, come back to 156. We basically do the exact same goddamn thing we did yesterday into close, giving you an opportunity to get long between 157 and 156. based on your entry, that's how much you're basically risking. And look at the reward on this position, right? So shout out to anyone who actually listened to my call outs and took that long yesterday on Zscaler off 156. I think this level will be in play a little bit longer. Right now, Zscaler most likely going to be back and forth between this area a little bit, but this is pretty good of a pattern too. This is a pretty classic bull flag. So watch out how this bull flag reacts. Notice how that bull flag is exactly into yesterday's high. So we respected yesterday's low, we respected yesterday's high. At this point, if this stock starts to compress a little bit tighter into this level, you could look for that long through that 165 area for a potential move up north, in my opinion. You know, it's not gonna have that big volume behind it to give you that momentum long right off the open if you're looking for it. So be careful on that one. Maybe take less size on the breakout and then take more size after it shows you confirmation on the pullback and shows you that there's actual buying on the pullback. But I think Zscaler here, beautiful bull flag on the 5-minute chart. I think you'll see the very same bull flag also coming into a 60-minute time frame over here. So look at that, boom, holding, moving back up here, getting ready to break out of that nice little 165 zone. Watch out how it plays. Is it even 165? 163.50. So watch out how the stock gets above 163.50 tomorrow. And if it does manage to get above 163.50, I think you got an easy long for us to play with. Zscaler, if it does move back down, then you ideally don't want to see the stock getting below 160. You don't want to see it below 160. If it does get back below 160, it's most likely going back into 156. So you want to be careful at that point. We want to be careful at that point. We got a bunch of people losing points. What the hell? Oh, my brother's home, I think. Oh, my sister, my niece is home. My brother's home. My niece's home. That's awesome. I'm gonna go see them in a bit. All right, GitLab. GitLab, another day, another strong move on this position, ripping up to the north side. Let's go, GitLab. So anyone who took the GitLab moves, would have loved to see it break 90. Did it actually break? Shut up. It didn't, right? Okay, yeah. I was talking about it. 91.50. We're still waiting for this one. We have some alerts set up. I think my alerts actually got triggered today, but you got me scared. I thought it actually broke it. It did not yet. Yes, that 90 break would be awesome. 91.50 was something that I was keeping an eye on. Today, my alerts did go off, but then I also noticed it not get below too much under 91.50, actually rip back into 93, double top into 93 where you could have gotten short at the same time when the market was pulling back down. That is an insane short right there. And we have 93 marked out too. Look at that. We have 93 marked out. We have 91.50 marked out. Basically where the stock kind of played within. Now the level is not even 91.50 anymore. You're basically just playing with 91, I guess, or even $90 flat. So if we actually get below that, the news catalyst low on Starbucks, I'm gonna still put in 91 to 90. Just because I like watching zones, pockets of areas instead of, you know, one specific price point. So watching that whole zone of 91 to 90 to see how it reacts. Clearly every time we go down there we have a little bit of a pop, but right now these pops are finding lower highs, and they keep getting stuffed down even more. So it started from 96. Now we're going into 93, and now 93 being a barrier, that just means more possible destructions on SBUX. So watch out how that one plays out. Kava, wow, turning back up. I was expecting Kava to move back down. GitLab, you know, this is now kind of a little in crazy territories. I'm gonna have to let it cool off a little bit, right? Let GitLab cool off. Also, GitLab's volume dies down very drastically after its earnings reports. The liquidity dies down, and it's usually not a fun name to trade after its earnings reports. Usually most names are not fun to trade after its earnings reports, and that's why I kind of turn off on them. But when they do create beautiful levels like Starbucks, like Kava, those warrant you to keep an eye on them a little bit longer. For example, Dell, look at this daily chart hold on Dell that we broke out of on the earnings report, then got back down after the earnings report with the market scare, and then it's now struggling to get back into this range. Anyone who went long in this area is most likely scared now, and once their stops trigger under 105, Dell most likely gets slammed back into the August lows at that point. So watching how Dell reacts right into, did I say Dolby? Watching how Dell reacts into this 105 pocket to better hold above 105, because that might have a lot of stops on this position. Anyone who got long after the stock broke down and got back up and started holding this area, anticipating for that earnings move, they might be scared on that breakdown. So a lot of positions over here setting up for some good opportunities. Intel, not really an opportunity now. It gave you a couple opportunities recently, but not really anything to keep an eye on, in my opinion. CELH had a down day today, but it kind of chopped me up. I mean, I'm not seeing a play on it. I'm not really seeing a play on CELH. MSTR, you're basically following cryptocurrencies. Coinbase 160, we talked about this yesterday on stream. If you were watching Coinbase right off the open, you would have been able to catch a long off of 161, risking 160, and that would have paid you quite a bit of dollars, right? Bang, right there, 160. You'd have got long 161, risking around $160, and instantly made about $10 per share, which is basically the idea we talked about. But today we kind of loosened up that 160 area, so this is most likely getting ready for a bigger move down. This also is a little too quick down on Coinbase. But if Bitcoin, which is the main kind of dictator, if Bitcoin looks weak and they start crumbling to the downside, that's not going to stop Coinbase. It's not going to matter that this stock went too quick to the downside. It could easily just keep on going down. So you might want to be a little careful around this 160 area now. We already loosened up any buyers in this area. So anyone who's buying in this area might be a little paper-handed and a little weak. So you might want to be careful trying to fight that mentality over there. SMCI getting ready to break that most recent low, and I think breaking that $400 area, the most recent low area, that's gonna most likely crack it much lower. So watching how SMCI reacts. However, the most recent low is actually 395.18, so you might want to watch this $5 pocket on a $48 stock, 48 ATR stock. Yeah, $5 pocket. Watch how it reacts from that $395 to $400 area. If no buying shows up, I think looking short, maybe even punching short around $395 and risking $400 as your stop might not be a bad idea, because the stock could easily go into $300 into $350 over the next few weeks. So watching how SMCI reacts, especially with AVGO report moving it down today and so on. Last but not least, we got stocks like Apple, Amazon, QQQ based stocks, basically the Magnificent Seven, all of which were very strong on the day today. Market did look weak going into the close. Market got a little bit of a haircut going into the close. Watching how this reaction plays out off the open tomorrow. So this reaction, mainly the stock or the market, in my opinion, cannot get above 551. If the market gets above 551, there's no more short. If we can't get above 551, we are most likely opening up a lot of downside over here on the market tomorrow, being a good free fall Friday. Sadly, Gumption and I are going to be driving to Montreal, so I will not be able to stream my morning session for you guys for too long, and I also most likely will not be able to capitalize the morning session for the most part. Well, at least the whole day short for the most part. But hopefully, if the morning session short sets up where the market being S&P 500 pops into 551 area and is not able to find buying above 551, I want to look short all the way to bully it into this downside and then open up that big pocket of room to the downside on the market. I'll actually show it to you on the hourly chart what that looks like instead. Turn off extended trading hours. So boom, no, and too tired Sunday. Well, we'll be driving back Sunday, so most likely will not be streaming on Sunday anyways. Or we'll be driving back Monday depending on whatever Gumption feels like. I don't really care. So if we're driving back Monday, I'm most likely not going to be able to stream Sunday and Monday. So thank you for reminding me, TH. That's right. Thank you for reminding me. Not sure if I'm going to be streaming, but make sure that you're following me on all my social medias. If you don't have my social media links, follow it up already. Don't make that mistake. Go check out my social media pages, all up here at the top of the Linktree page, which is in all my social media chats that I'm streaming to at the moment. So click on those, click on the platform, follow those Twitter pages, follow those Discords and so on, and stay tuned for my next stream. Sadly, this will be the final stream of this week. All right, so SPY, let's see, 551. If we get above 551, I am no longer thinking short on the market. There could be a beautiful long on the market. I'll think about that play. But you got to remember, you're basically playing in the middle of the ranges now. You're playing in the middle of the ranges. The market could easily just get boxed in this box and not have to do anything really. It could just compress. We kind of sealed off the downside today. We sealed off the upside yesterday and today. So for me, there's not much upside and there's not much downside. But a little bit of downside could open up if we actually manage to keep the market stuffed below 551, because anyone who's trying to push the market above 551 and not able to take that advantage of, you know, pushing it above 551 might start closing their trades and be ready to buy the market at a much lower price. The market's only what, 2-3% away from all-time highs. I think that's a little ridiculous. So let's get a nice little pullback over here. My inner Michael Burry, Prad Burry, is beating the short drums at the moment. So let's get that pullback. Come on. But if you see how strong the the Magnificent 7 was, right? Insane strength across the board on the Mag 7. Amazon up 2%. Apple up on the date, up about near $224, up 0.69% only. Tesla was up quite a bit, almost 5% on Tesla. Microsoft was decent. Google had a pretty good day. I thought Google had a pretty good day. Well, it started off having a good day and then sold off quite a bit, looks like. So for the most part, it was just Tesla. But some stocks did have a decent day in the Mag 7 basket. Microsoft in the opposite side of that spectrum, actually having a red day. So we'll see. You know, I don't want to keep repeating my bearish sentiment and keep boring you guys about my bearish sentiment. One thing about my bearish sentiment that negates it completely is how the QQQ was so strong today, and QQQ already boxing off exactly at the August anchored VWAP, August low anchored VWAP, which the SPYs obviously have quite a bit of a ways to move down into. That's at $543, sorry. So still quite a bit of a move down for the S&P 500 to go there, but this could easily just get pulled up. Sorry, the anchored VWAP could easily get pulled up. That means the market just trades in this zone a lot longer, right? The longer the market trades in the zone, the more inclined the anchored VWAP goes into this area, and then we either break down when they touch each other, or they break up when they touch either. So anything is possible. You know, yeah, I'd like to look for that short move, but I'm also getting ready to completely stay away from the short side if the market is getting bought above 551. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is basically all she wrote for what we're watching tomorrow on the market. I won't be able to trade much of the day, but whatever I do get to trade, you guys can catch me doing that on stonks.com in the morning. I'll go live around 8:30, 9 o'clock or so, so come hang out with me until I have to get offline. Because we're driving up to Montreal. All right. I'm going to show you the economic calendar here real quick. Let me unhide the screen. Sorry, let me hide the screen real quick just in case I get doxxed again. I should do that more often. Okay. Boom. Economic calendar for tomorrow, quite active like today's economic calendar. So we got a bunch of things coming out throughout the day. You want to be careful about what time these things report because the market could move off of these numbers. So starting with 8:30, you got a bunch of numbers, a bunch of activity from the econ data at 8:30. Then you got some around 10 o'clock, and that's basically about it. That's basically about it, looks like. So 10 o'clock, you got total car numbers, red book, and not much over there at 10 o'clock. Fed Waller talking at 11 o'clock. Most of the numbers coming out at 8:30 to 8:45. So unemployment numbers, Fed member Williams, private non-pharma payroll, government payroll, manufacturing payroll, hourly earnings, average hourly earnings, and so on. So a bunch of numbers. Dollar demise appears out overstated, says JP Morgan. Okay, nice little headline over there from investing.com. But so we got a bunch of numbers at 8:30. We'll see if the 8:30 numbers actually help out the market overall to continue going back up, or at least what they tried to do today. At the end of the day, didn't manage to do too much of a good job at staying green over there. Pride, are there any IPOs we need to know? And you say hi to Ani. Ani's in the chat. Hey, Hani. Or should I say Clowny? Hey, Clowny, how you doing? Nice to see you in the chat. Any IPOs? No. Ooh, we do have a IPO. When is this? Was that today? Oh, okay. Not anything that we care about. It was supposed to be today. Didn't really IPO today, or even if it did, we would not have cared about it. It's going to be a reverse SPAC merger name. Vine Hill Capital Investment Corp. So usually anything with the U at the end, anything that has a $10 opening indication price, usually means that it is a reverse SPAC merger name. Something like a DWAC that turns into a DJT, or something like whatever stock that it was previously that turned into PSNY, which is Polestar. So something like that. Reverse SPAC merger names, not something that I care too much for a day trade. But yeah. That is your economic calendar. 8:30 is going to be pretty important. Make sure that you're keeping an eye out to see if the market finds a little bit of a bounce off of these numbers, or if they get sold off on this. That's going to be important. How long does it take to drive to Montreal, says John Vaughn. I believe it's about 5 hours. 5 hours or so. We're going to be taking a couple breaks, obviously. We're going to having some fun. Getting to Montreal is going to be pretty fun. I don't think I've ever had that big of a drive. Well, I have. That's a lie. Yeah, I've had plenty of drives like that. Me and my family, we've drove to Washington, D.C. a bunch of times like that. But Montreal would be fun. You know, going to a different part of Canada that I haven't really seen before. That's going to be cool. We're going to see my old manager, who's also his old manager, and also his old friend. So Gumption and I, we used to work at the old trading office. The Trader TV trading office that you guys all know me from. So, you know, Greg hired me, hired him. We're going to have a lot of fun over there to go see his brand new house that he bought recently. Apparently, he's also engaged that I didn't know. So I'm going to have to pretend like I didn't hear about that. So I'll do pretty good acting over there. But no, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. I think I'm also going to see Dieter if I get a chance. I'm gonna go see Dieter for a quick little bit. If I have time to step away, cause like I'm going to meet somebody, right? I'm going to meet somebody. I'm not coming to do other things really. I'm coming to go see somebody specific. So I would feel guilty kind of being like, yo, let me go see my viewers for a couple hours and step away from everything. But if things work out, I might go see Dieter. I might go see a couple other of my viewers, my Discord members, Durka, and so on. Maybe we'll go hit up the casino. Maybe we will have some fun over there. We'll see what happens. But overall, nice little drive to Montreal. Just a little get together. That's it. Nice little get together. Pretty sure red is a Ferrari color. Fuck you. Alright? Fuck you. Fuck Ferrari. Fuck you. Fuck everyone who loves Ferrari. Red is not a Ferrari color. Red can be someone who also hates a Ferrari color, okay? Fuck Ferrari, period. I hate Ferrari. If I ever owned a Ferrari, I'll kill myself, period. But yeah, that's that. I'm gonna go, ladies and gentlemen, go see my family member downstairs, go say hello to them and all that other fun jazz. I will see you guys until next stream, so make sure you follow me on all the fun stuff on social media and everything, on the Linktree pages that I've sent to you guys. Go check them out, so that way you're up to date on when I'm going live and when I'm not going live, because this month is my schedule's kind of all over the place. Going into the end of September, I have a bachelor's party, so that's gonna be kind of crazy also. So I don't even know that we have so much stuff to do. Say hi to Coco, will do. I'll go say hi to Coco for you. But for those of you on stonks.com, I'm actually going to come back after I go do some chores and say hi to my family. I'm gonna go do some dishes and come back. So if you're watching me on stonks.com, you stay tuned, or come back whenever you see me that I'm watching YouTube videos, because that's what we do. We watch YouTube videos on stonks.com. So if you want to watch YouTube videos with me, go create a stonks.com account right now. All the links are in the Linktree page. TraderPrad is heading out. Here comes the outro. Time to head out. Good luck tomorrow on the market, ladies and gentlemen. Deuces. Peace.
Who's this?
Pack basket. Get destroyed. Get ready for it. Trade off of. Get ready for the watch list for tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm gonna bring in my big screen over here. Back to another brand new week of After the After Hours with your host TraderPrad. I'm doing great. Hopefully you guys are joining me on that great side. Markets are moving around. Might just be a risk on type of day, so let's see what happens. 8 o'clock tomorrow. As you guys know, we do the stream Monday to Thursday, 8 p.m. Shout out to my affiliate sponsors, Benzinga, Trade Ideas, the #1 scanner to go to, Trader Sync, promo code down below, promo code PRAD15 to get 15% off. I will catch you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock, same time, same place. Until then, TraderPrad out. Adios.